Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to the Build Show. I'm Potter. So, it's the Drip Show. Okay, maybe I'm live now. All right, so hello everybody, in case I didn't say that already. It's the Drip Show. It's, about the drip community, but there's an elephant in the room. Maybe I should talk about it. I think I'll talk about it. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whoever's watching. My name is Potter. Welcome to the Build Show. Just remember, this is not financial advice. We don't give financial advice. So, as drip people, I feel that I was a super loyal person because I definitely got in early enough that I could have cashed out. But when I heard about deadlines and, us hitting dates and new things that are going to be released, I wanted to be a part of the community and not fleece the system. So, I got to the Max wallet. I do live on drip. Hold on one sec. I think that fell down. Okay. So I, I kept believing. So we are where we are now, but I've always looked at that capital, that crypto capital, is something that I should use to go into other things. And one of the things that I was in was what the creator of, ultimately the creator of Drip was into. Give me one second. I had to rub my nose that it wouldn't look all weird. Drip is based off of a product created from a developer called BankTeller. And BankTeller had a platform that pretty much launched at the same time as Drip, so they were running neck and neck. At the time, I believed that Drip was deflationary and that it wouldn't mint anything else like a stock, and it would be more like Bitcoin. Elephant, on the other hand, had a quadrillion tokens, and I was like, Drip's got 1 million. We're going to blow you away. But although Elephant has a quadrillion tokens, it holds on to them, and it doesn't ever expand. So when they got hit, it was because they built this thing that I called her BERTHA. I didn't call her BERTHA, her name's BERTHA, but I called her the cousin of DDD, because what it would do was it would go in and it would take a look at what was out there, and it would buy it and put it in its own vault. But the difference with Drip is that Drip always prints. So when it runs out, it just prints more. With BERTHA, there is no more that it can print. That's it. It's just going to buy. So what BERTHA is doing is BERTHA is going into the LP pair. And let me do something here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So a lot of people, too high and warns that we're prepared. That's amazing. That's great news. Breaking news right here. But do you guys see how familiar this looks? Right? Like this part, there's a liquidity pair here, and so this is what we're seeing. So imagine when it comes to Elephant that the Canadian dollar is in the liquidity pair an equal amount, right? Well, what Elephant is trying to do is, let me go back to me because I'll get distracted by this. What Elephant is trying to do is it's buying up all of the Elephant tokens and sticking it inside of BERTHA. Excuse me. and sticking it inside of Bertha. And so what it's doing is, as it takes those quadrillion off the market, it's housing them. And so when people go to buy not drip, when people go to buy elephant, if they go to buy it off Pancake Swap, they're not buying it from Bertha, right? But that will fix itself too. So what Bertha's doing is Bertha's holding onto the tokens, and it's taking out, and it's working a little bit like Reservoir. It's selling its own basket. And the end goal is that Bertha, which has a lot of it, will supersede or usurp the amount that anybody else has, and it will be the sole holder of it. And so when you go to buy elephant in the future, you'll be getting from Bertha at a higher price. What she does is she also, when you use that BNB to buy, she goes in and she uses the BNB to buy her own elephant and give that to you. I'm trying to sum it up real quick, but the bottom line is I invested in drip a lot, right? And I put in my time, but when I gave you guys notice like a few weeks ago when it was even at 6 cents that it was time to take profit. But so for me, I took profit and moved it into elephant, and in less than a week it's let me not lie, which browser, give me a sec. Nope, just this one. It is up 4.4%. Now, if I'd had real drip money, right, from back in the day, it would have been even better for me. But I've decided, since I understand the technology, holy cow, where did I put you guys? So since I understand the technology, and I was full in on elephant when it first launched. I had so much, and then my timing sucked. I had billions of elephant. I went to go sell to get into something, and I happened to sell right during the exploit. And so when it gave me MetaMask said, you're going to sell this much elephant, I was like, that doesn't seem right, because I'd just seen how much I was going to sell to get what I needed, and I sold billions because I sold it at the bottom. The transaction, the exploit was happening during my transaction, and I was so bummed because when you build that much over that many months, I just couldn't get back into it. But I kept watching, and it just kept going this way. And so I talked to SK Crypto K, and you've even seen shows with him talking about elephant. And the different part about elephant was its bank teller and his personality. It was when he was on the James Pelton show that I was like, okay, it just sounded like a con, like this guy's in over his head. But like, I missed the sentiment for people. I said sentiment on my show last week. Now I hear sentiment everywhere. But the sentiment I did not get. However, I also was starting to become all in on drip, and us against the world, the drip community against the world. They all hate us, and I stopped paying attention to the basics of what elephant token was doing, specifically the liquidity in it. There's many more millions in the elephant ecosphere or ecosystem than the drip system, and it's going green while we, as the drip community, figure out, okay, how do we rebuild? How do we retool it? And it's going to be really hard to do with not only a rebase token, but a rebase token that prints itself. So the reason I'm showing these symbols here is to say, we keep thinking that blockchain is something new, but if you take a look at this is just like Forex now. It's a trade, and there's pairs of currency that we didn't know about. We've only thought about things as, US dollar, Canadian dollar. We didn't know that they paired them up and did trades doing that. But now we're smarter and we do understand. What we also understand is what I talked about on yesterday's show. The horns are getting louder regarding inflation, that made up term, which just means, like with drip, if you have too much drip and the price of drip goes down, the TV's price didn't change. It just takes more drip to buy that TV. That's what's happening with the dollar. We used to depend on trading on the dollar, but now that you've got BRICS coming online, people swearing off the dollar, that means that the liquidity is going to build for the dollar because we've printed so much. And unlike crypto, you can't burn it. Well, maybe you can, but they would have to come up with something new. But I think they're going to pivot to the digital dollar. It's some kind of leverage against that, but they're still going to have something to back that. BRICS is saying that they want to go to the gold standard, but I still disagree that that's a good idea, because you just go back to the same thing. Somebody finds a gold mine, then there's too much gold and the price of gold goes down, and then everything gets more expensive, but not really. Let's go here. Hey, LaBelle. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you, dude. So, I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can get it up here and not like. You just go to CoinGecko. That's the wrong one. I was gonna lose the stream. Hold on one second. If you go to look at all of these pairs, and so I'm going to go into a little bit more about it because it's that big. So what you have here, right? That doesn't look good if you look at it like that, right? Oh my God, 24 hours, it looks just like drip. What about 7 days? What about 14 days? What about 30 days? What about 90 days? What about 180 days? Right? So while we were, all in on, hey, waiting for a date and dates getting pushed, it prevented us from looking elsewhere. We prevented ourselves. It was nobody else's fault but our own. But what I'm saying is, if the technology to build drip, the thing that has lived for 2.5 years, we're trying to build utility to saver, isn't working. But one of the, mathematical people who was involved in the coding is doing this. Like, let's take a look at their liquidity. Is it here? It went into dark mode on me. Sorry about that, guys. Crap. Market cap should be here. No, it's not showing it. Oh man, why'd you go? Hold on. Can I change it at the top? Yeah, I can change it. Okay, let's go back. I don't think does it have the market cap here? It doesn't show it. On the on their site it does. But my point is, if this was drip, right, we would take action. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one again. Dadgummit. Okay. So let's look at the market cap over here. So I think that's it's not, that's a trading volume, but that's not that's not correct. Let's see. I don't think I can go to Elephant Money. Show me let's log in. I don't have a wallet on this one, I don't think. So, here we go. So I can show you this. Let's go over that's over the past 4 hours, right? Let's get it by day. Let's pull all of this in. Are we getting up to today? Let's pull this back over. Yeah. So let me zoom in a little bit. Over. Right. So here's when the exploit happened. Right. And there have been, I wish I could show you guys some charts, but I didn't prepare to show you anything. And, I don't want to show anything I don't have to. So let me make sure this is showing on screen. It is. Let me zoom in. Reset itself. So right here, you can't see it, but I have another chart that shows right here there was a cross, and that's where it shot up. Here's where that cross happened here, right? And it's not going up as quick. But there's other things there's utility built into Elephant Money. There's futures, there's Stampede. Futures requires a minimum $200 deposit. There's an NFT that they have. Everybody's moving to NFTs. It's good to see Dog Pound is doing that. But my point is, guys, if we want to save drip, we can't just continue to invest in that which is not going to facilitate our ability to get in anything else. That is my view. No financial advice, right? So this has gone up, what did I say, in the past 7 days? Should have opened another browser. No, I don't want to do that. I went into my own browser again, guys. Let's go to Elephant. Sorry if this is boring, guys. I think it's important that we pay attention. And let me turn this back to light. I think, no, that's API key. Nah, whatever. I'll leave it as it is. I can't see how to turn it back off. So, like I said, if you want to go over 7 days, and so it's kind of cool because, when was this? Friday is when I got in. I got in down here, right? So it's like, yay! And then it went up. I was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. Oh no. You know what? This is freaking drip. Well, okay, maybe. I knew this was drip. And then all of a sudden it started going back to where it was. So there's a lot. You have to do your own due diligence on this stuff. But despite its personality, where I cut out with BT, it does seem like it's starting to do stuff. Did this not work? Yeah, it worked. So, but let's go back. Let's take a look at this one, guys. Like, we can't deny that. If we had not been, just so fixated on DDD, we could have DCA'd in, right? I'm not saying that you should just necessarily go all in. If we had discovered this, where's my freaking browser? Okay. So I'm just saying, you can't. This is during everybody else's, Bitcoin, everything else. This is now what I was thinking about DDD. It is a systematic, calculated understanding of the ecosystem. There's no bells and whistles from it. He built in other utilities, but he also knew that BERTHA was going to have to ultimately do her job. And since we know there's a fixed supply of Elephant, no printing, right? No printing, no more tokens, no 1% a day, but something that you can hold on to and watch it go up, because it's still, what was it? .0 whatever cents. 0.00. And so, guys, when I was mucking around with it, it was like .020. This was this weekend. It could never get to 30. Like when you see it hit 30, it would go back down, 20, 29-ish. And then it just kept bouncing off that. But when people get off, I believe, when people get off their tribal feel and just take a look and say, you know what? It was $15. Now it's $17. Now it's $24. I think it's a good move for me because I understand the technology. More than likely, if you're in the drip community, I think if you want to stick to loyal, then don't do this, right? Because what I bet you any amount of money when this started happening. When was this? A lot of volume happened on the 17th. I bet you people were going, oh, here we go. So this is why it was good that I got in there. But we'll see, It's still a DeFi project, but it is truly, in my opinion, decentralized because we're not depending on one person, right? Well, you're depending on the founder, but you're not depending on products to be released. It's already baked. As SK said, did bank teller did he solve DeFi? And I'm just bummed, that I didn't trust my gut and stay in it, but it was his personality. And that goes back to feelings again. You can't do feelings in business or you just get wrecked, right? So guys, that was really it. I am going to talk more about bank teller stuff now. In alignment with drip, because guys, anything I get or make out of this, my plan is still to help out drip, right? I still believe in it. I got to tell you, I'm open now where I wasn't before to, now that I understand elephant, where I wasn't before, I'm open to stopping the 1% a day, right? Or saying, you know what, when we get to 1 billion drip, right? Because we don't want to become like what's happening with the greenback now. If we just keep flooding the market with our token, it's going to be worthless. We can have DDD, but now what we're doing, like if we're the Federal Reserve of drip, it sounds all good if we have other countries that were coming in and partaking. But if people are starting to develop elephant money and EM and, brick by brick, Foodtopia, I know Foodtopia at least gives back, but we don't have that liquidity coming in and out anymore because people are like, I can get a better deal elsewhere, right? So it's going to be up to us who have the biggest drip bags to do that. So I think drip has to have something that completely stops the printing stuff. And people who have max wallets, they'll just have max wallets. Like maybe give it I don't know. It would have to be put to a vote. But it's much easier to understand when it is a deflationary token like Bitcoin versus an inflationary token that symbolizes like what a stock does. Hey, we're going to have a stock split. Does that mean there's going to be more so it'll be cheaper? Yep. They'll buy it back. Okay, we don't even get to vote on the stock split. When the tax vault runs out, stock split, you just start printing. And drip needs to be, in my opinion, a deflationary token, which is what I thought it was when we got involved. So I hope that helped you guys. I didn't go in with big bags, but I've made 4% in a week. And I would, if I'd kept that in drip, if I just tried to build my wallet, I would have lost that, right? Like, good feelings only get you so far. So I hope this helped you be more informative. I hope that this was informative and helps you be more informed. And thanks for tuning in. Oh, there was one other thing. No, that wasn't what I wanted to do. 1 second. talked about this a little bit on yesterday's show, and I think that it is so important that, with drip slowing down, that you step back. And I talk to a lot of influencers as opposed to, my audience is a lot of influencers over, people who are in, because I don't talk about anything sexy. But I really think that now is the time to start, looking out to see what else is out there to help the drip community. Because as Ray said in his video, he's willing to put money in for a developer, to help drip. But I don't know if you can help drip until you can stop it printing, right? We thought DDD can 100% facilitate it, the drip that we have out there now. But while it can print more, both selfish and bad actors can just say, give me my 1% drip, right? And it doesn't present any value. It just ends up like the other tokens. But we know that drip is a gem. So I think this will help us figure out ways. Again, I hope this was informative. Have a great weekend. And remember, game on.